Good afternoon. It's been a while since I did a live video. Jeff Dawson from Dallas, Texas. It is now a typical July day. It is partly cloudy, humid. I, I don't know what to say about the team other than pathetic. I was so hoping if they get a little momentum when they played Oakland, they got the break in the All-Star, they go to Buffalo to play Toronto, that they might find the T. I mean, the game Friday night, all right, the final was 10-2. Those two runs they scored were benevolent runs. I mean, even the fans applauded. They finally got something across, otherwise it would have been a shutout. Well, they get rained out yesterday, so they're playing one of these double 7-inning doubleheaders. Thank you, Manfred, for, it was okay during COVID. We're not in COVID anymore. This is a regular season, and you still have this ridiculous rule in place. You're no better than Seelig, and he was an idiot too. But so Allard pitches in the first game. And they're talking about how much run support he doesn't get. Well, he got none. 6-0. There goes his ERA. And this game, this second game, okay, we that follow baseball know in a doubleheader, it's usually a split. The only thing that is getting split in this game is, again, our starting pitcher. Fultonowicz is just getting ripped. I mean, this isn't ugly. This isn't, God, it's not even Little League. Who's pitching now? What are they doing? Showing a replay? Hell, I can't tell. No. It's 10-0. The morale on this team, I don't care what they say in front of the cameras. I mean, at least we're not as bad as the Diamondbacks. I know that's not much of a consolation prize because they're so bad. But this team, I have tried to figure out, okay, what can we do with this? What can they do to improve it? New general manager, buy out Daniel's contract, get a baseball guy in there, not one of these analytical idiots, because it ain't working. They're not even competitive. I'm still behind Chris Woodward. I'll tell you that right now. I'm still behind Chris. I still think he has what it takes to make this team, for a better term, gel. But right now, it's just a pile of mush. We have no starting pitching. We have one, Gibson. We have one pitcher with a winning record, Gibson. The other four, this is a failed experiment. Lyles hasn't produced. Fultonowicz, he's getting lit up like a Christmas tree. I mean, good Lord. And the bats. What bats? What are they up there with, icicles or something? A friend of mine said, well, can they get with Paul Bunyan and get something bigger? I said, well, that's what they need, but sadly, there is a limit on the diameter of a bat. And hell, I don't know if that would help. I mean, I've said this multiple times. Who is the leader of the Rangers? Who's the captain? I've never heard that. I don't know if they've got one. Well, somebody needs to hold somebody accountable because this is absolutely embarrassing. There's no reason they should be this bad. So, yeah, that's going to go to management. Who's running this clubhouse? I don't know. I don't know if anybody is. Do they just show up and do their own thing and say, okay, I showed up, pay me? If that's the attitude in that clubhouse, it needs to change. I've worked on job sites where that's the way people worked. And I had that on a job where this crew was useless. They were a waste of space. They should have all been fired. But you couldn't find competent help back then. So I did the next best thing and called up my top foreman and said, I need your help and I need it tomorrow. And I'd already made arrangements with my boss that, hey, he's coming over here. We got to get this thing done. And he showed up and he went to work, and the rest of the 3, 4, or 5 guys on that crew just kind of stood there and watched him, knowing we had concrete at 3 o'clock. And one of them said at 3 o'clock, and with or without you, I will get this done. And he also told me that if you don't work, you can either go home, you can go home and not get paid. So get your thumbs out of your ass and get up here and help if you want to get paid today. That happened. He took hold of the situation. He knew I would support him. And we poured those retaining walls at 3 o'clock that afternoon. Those guys really didn't like me, and I really didn't care. Well, that's what the Rangers need. This is not a popularity contest. You are professional baseball players, and you're not playing like it. I am content that the defense is solid. Heim has kind of proven me wrong with his bat, but this offense, this stick in the mud offense isn't working. And I know I didn't realize but Ortiz was going through some cancer treatment, so he's been gone. Well, who's in charge? Who's the acting hitting coach? John Daniels? Chris Davis? Hell, I don't know. I think they, one of my friends, Wes, said, well, maybe they ought to handicap them 3 runs. They might be able to win a game or 2. Sadly, I agreed with him. While it sounds absurd, it's really not a bad idea right now. But this is pathetic. And if you're a Rangers fan, I'm sure you feel my pain. And the only plus thing is when they're done with this Toronto beating, they go to Detroit for 3. I can't lose in a Detroit series. I can't. Tigers are my number 1 team. So I can't lose. But if the Tigers win, I would like for it to be a competitive game and not a blowout. These blowouts are for the birds. 10-0. 10-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. What in the hell is going on? I don't know. But it needs to change. And it needs to change now. But it's not. There's what now? 71 games. After this, there'll be 70 games left in the season. They have the 3rd worst record in MLB. That's something to hang your hat on. And they shouldn't. That's the problem. They shouldn't be this bad. And I'm tired of lip service from John Daniels and the rest of them. I want to see, if you lose all of your games, that's fine. But if you're competitive when you lose them, that's a whole different ballgame. At least you can get behind the team. It's like I mentioned earlier, when they got their 2 runs Friday night, the crowd cheered because, hey, they scored. They didn't get shut out. I think that's going to be a repeat today. If they score, the crowd will cheer. I mean, you can tell the game's in Buffalo that it is a crowd that supports the Blue Jays, and they're damn near neighbors. But this is past the point of ridiculous. It's just embarrassing. But I will stick with them, and I will stick with them so that I can watch and analyze what the hell, try and attempt to see, other than the starting pitching, what else is wrong with this team. I mean, I've talked about the batting and that they're all trying to hit the fence, and everyone was big on Adolis Garcia. I understand. We're all going to make a mistake. There was a play in that second game. Ball was hit right to him. You knew the runner was going to try and go home. And when he let go of the ball, you could see the ball in his hand. And it's like, oh, I know where that one's going. And it did. It was a moonshot. At least 10 feet over Heim's head. Even the pitcher was looking up going, where'd it go? Where'd it go? And when it hit that back wall, he caught it. So it kept the runner at second. But that was Bush League. Bush League at best. Very disturbing. This coming up Saturday, BBS Radio 1. BBS Radio 1. That will be on my live broadcast at 2 o'clock. And yeah, we're going to talk about the Rangers some more, and I'll have a book review. But I'm also going to focus some on the politics, but tomorrow will mark the 12th year that I kissed Debbie goodbye. And for those that you have listened or read the book, Love Drew's Second Chance, she was my high school sweetheart. We had a horrendous breakup. We reunited 30 years later. And then I would kiss her goodbye 7 months later for the last time when breast cancer took her. So I'll probably read a poem or two about that. But it's a great show. I try and be informed. No, I am informative. I look at the news from a different angle than anybody else. Hell, I got in a debate with a guy the other day about the Maricopa recount and, you know, the Dems this, the Dems that, the left-wing media this, the left-wing media that. And yet he sends me a link from InfoWars. Okay. If there was fraud in the election, it's eventually going to come out and we'll see it for what it is. But I have never been knee-jerk. I didn't jump on any bandwagons. I sure the hell didn't support a whole lot of people's positions. I just went back to what I uncovered. 2020 election. No, I don't have 2 screens yet. Election results. And I still can't see worth a damn. Where is it? Try my glasses here. Where is my... This is it, I believe. I hope none of you ever go through retinal surgery. 1 was okay. 2 was too much. But what I came up with, which was really interesting, and a lot of people said, well, if that's the case, then they'd be looking into it. And I said, okay, so why aren't they? And I kicked this out in December because I had to revise it. But these are the percentages of the registered voters that voted in the general election for the presidency. Georgia, 65. Pennsylvania, 88. Wisconsin, 88. Arizona, 78. Michigan, 68. And Nevada, 86. Those are the percentages of registered voters. And another stat, 59% of registered voters voted in 2016 and 75% voted in 2020. I know hell hadn't frozen over yet. I don't believe that for a minute. I mean, misinformation. If you're on the right, well, it's this. In fact, the guys with cyber ninjas were in a hearing and they were talking about the ballots. Well, go to Facebook and it's all lit up. Oh, they didn't use the right paper. They had duplicate ballots. I mean, stop. For the love of God, stop. Really? I tell everyone, I will wait and see what the full report says in August, just like the Mueller report. When people were asking me, did I believe it? And my response was, I haven't read it. I don't have an opinion because I'm not informed and I haven't read it. When I read it, then I will tell you what my take on it is. And that's what I did. But I mean, there for a week. Well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I said, I'm not done. So yes, I take my time when I write an article or do research on an important topic. I don't do that. No, we're in a commercial break. So the Rangers can't have any more runs scored against them. I guess that's a good thing. But it will be a good show this coming weekend. It's coming Saturday. It lasts an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And it's BBS Radio 1, Dawson's Domain. And you get to see this lovely mug on my site. So you can't miss it. If you have to put shades on to spare your eyes, believe me, I understand because I look in the mirror every morning. It's disturbing, but hey, it is what it is. All right, well, I just and realize how futile. I just thought last year was futile. This is, I try and convince myself it can't get any worse. Well, you could say I was proved wrong on that one. Y'all have a good Sunday. And I will probably do one more video before the show Saturday. But look it up. Subscribe to it. Subscribe to this channel. And let's keep the good news rolling. Have a great Sunday.